The cause of large-scale structure. Look up at the night sky. What do you see? Pinpricks of light, a random, beautiful scattering of stars. But that is an illusion. The greatest trick the universe ever played was to make us think it was chaotic. What if I told you that this apparent chaos is a lie? That the cosmos is not a formless cloud, but a living, breathing architecture of unimaginable scale? That every galaxy, every cluster, every vast empty void is part of a single, colossal blueprint, a cosmic skeleton, a grand design written into the very fabric of reality at the dawn of time. Today, we are not just looking at the stars. We are reading that blueprint. We are deciphering the cause of the largest structures in existence. And the story is more magical, more mystical than any fantasy we could ever conceive. Imagine you are a god, looking down upon the entirety of the observable universe. You shrink it down, billions of light years, compressed into a sphere you can hold in your hands. What would you see? You would not see a uniform soup of galaxies. You would see a web, a cosmic web, giant, shimmering filaments of galaxies, stretching for hundreds of millions of light years, like the threads of a spider's web woven by a cosmic entity. Where these threads intersect, you find dense, brilliant knots, the great clusters of galaxies, where thousands of island universes swarm together in a gravitational dance. And between these threads, vast, empty, terrifyingly dark voids, regions of near-nothingness, deserts of space so immense they could swallow our entire local group of galaxies without a trace. This is the large-scale structure of our universe. It is the architecture of everything. And the first, most profound question is, why? Why isn't everything just smooth? Why did the universe clump together into this specific, web-like pattern? The answer does not lie in the present. To find it, we must journey back, not just millions, but billions of years, to the very beginning. Close your eyes. Forget the explosion. Think of the beginning not as a bang, but as a single, perfect, unified note. A note of infinite energy, of pure potential. In that first moment, all of space, all of time, all the matter and energy that would ever become you, me, every star and galaxy was compressed into a singularity, a point of infinite density. And then it began. The universe expanded, inflating at a speed so incomprehensibly fast it makes light seem like a snail. This was the period of cosmic inflation, and this was the moment the seeds were sown. You see, the vacuum of space at that time was not perfectly smooth. It was a quantum foam, a seething, bubbling cauldron of reality itself, governed by the strange rules of the quantum world. Here, particles and energy would flicker in and out of existence, a temporary loan from the cosmos. And as the universe inflated, these tiny, quantum fluctuations, these microscopic whispers of more and less, were stretched. They were magnified from the subatomic to the cosmic scale. Think of it. A random quantum hiccup, smaller than a proton, was stretched to the size of a galaxy cluster. These tiny ripples in the fabric of space-time became the template for all of creation. They were the primordial incantation, the first spell cast upon the universe, a symphony written in the language of density. Slightly denser regions and slightly less dense regions. That's all it took. This was the cosmic blueprint, imprinted onto the universe when it was a mere fraction of a second old. For the next several 100,000 years, the universe was a hot, dense, opaque fog. A plasma of particles and light so thick that photons couldn't travel any distance without crashing into something. It was an era of pure, brilliant chaos. But within that fog, the blueprint was active. Gravity, the most patient and relentless force in the cosmos, was already at work. Gravity is the great architect. It is the force that sculpts, and it is attracted to mass. Those regions of the primordial fog that were ever so slightly denser, thanks to those quantum seeds, had a tiny bit more mass. And so, they had a slightly stronger gravitational pull. Over millions of years, this gentle pull began to act. Gravity pulled more matter towards these dense seeds. As more matter fell in, the gravitational pull became stronger, pulling in even more matter. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy, a feedback loop of creation. The slightly dense regions became denser. The slightly empty regions became emptier. This is the mystical dance at the heart of structure formation. The interplay between the initial spell, the quantum seed, and the silent, persistent pull of gravity. Then, around 380,000 years after the beginning, the universe cooled enough for atoms to form. The fog cleared. The light, which had been trapped, was suddenly set free. We see that released light today as the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang. And etched onto that afterglow, like a fossil frozen in time, are the very same density fluctuations that would one day become the cosmic web. We have photographed the blueprint, but there is a problem, a deep, mystical secret. When we do the math, when we calculate the gravitational pull of all the normal matter we see, the stars, the galaxies, the gas, it is not enough. It is not nearly strong enough to have woven this cosmic web in the time the universe has existed. There is an invisible hand guiding the process, an unseen architect. We call it dark matter. This is not mere emptiness. This is a substance, a form of matter that does not interact with light. It is utterly transparent, ghostly. It passes through you, through the earth, through entire galaxies, as if they weren't even there. We cannot see it. We cannot touch it. We have never directly detected it. But we know it is there because we can see its ghostly grip on the cosmos. Dark matter makes up about 85% of the matter in the universe. And because it doesn't interact with light or normal matter, it was able to start clumping together under its own gravity immediately after the Big Bang, long before normal matter could. It formed a hidden gravitational skeleton, a cosmic scaffolding in the ancient universe. The normal matter, the atoms that make up you, me, and every star, was just along for the ride. It flowed into the gravitational wells carved out by the dark matter. The galaxies formed within these vast, invisible halos of dark matter. The beautiful shining structures we see are just the visible tracer, the luminous froth on the surface of a deep, dark ocean. So the cosmic web we see is really the shadow, the echo of a much vaster, invisible structure. We are living in a universe haunted by its own mass. With the dark matter scaffolding in place and normal matter flowing into its nodes and filaments, the universe began to build. In the densest knots of this cosmic web, the first stars ignited. And they were not like our sun. They were behemoths, monsters of pure hydrogen and helium, hundreds of times more massive than our sun. They lived fast, brilliant lives and died in colossal supernova explosions, forging the first heavy elements, the carbon, oxygen, iron that would one day become planets and life. Their violent deaths seeded the cosmos with the ingredients for everything that was to come. Galaxies began to form, swarming like fireflies in the dark matter halos, and they too began to dance. Gravity continued its work, not just on gas and dust, but on the galaxies themselves. They began to migrate along the invisible filaments of the dark matter web, flowing towards the intersections, building the great clusters and superclusters we see today. The universe was assembling itself, following the ancient plan. It was a slow, stately, gravitational waltz on a scale so vast it defies human comprehension. The Virgo supercluster, of which our Milky Way is a part, is just one of these grand intersections in the cosmic web. Now, this is where the story becomes truly futuristic, bordering on the magical. Modern physics is hinting at a possibility so strange it sounds like science fiction, but it might be the ultimate key to understanding this structure. The holographic principle. What if our three-dimensional universe, with its magnificent cosmic web, its galaxies, its stars, and us, is actually a projection? What if all the information needed to describe everything we see is actually encoded on a two-dimensional surface that surrounds us, like the information on a holographic film? Think of it like this. The events happening within a volume of space, the dance of the galaxies, the pull of gravity, might be determined by the information stored on the boundary of that space. The 3D world could be an emergent illusion, a hologram. How does this connect to the large-scale structure? Those initial quantum fluctuations, the seeds of the cosmic web, might be the result of information-theoretic processes on the primordial boundary of the universe. The reason the universe looks like a web might be because that is the most efficient way for information to be structured and projected into reality. It suggests that the cosmos is not just a physical structure, but an informational one. The cosmic web is not just made of galaxies and dark matter, it is made of data. We are living inside a computational process of unimaginable complexity. The large-scale structure is the output. The cause is a cosmic code, running on a computer whose nature we can only guess at. This is the frontier. We are no longer just astronomers. We are cosmic archaeologists and cosmic programmers, trying to debug the source code of reality. So, what does this mean for us? Look again at your hand. You are made of stardust, yes. But that stardust was forged in the hearts of those first giant stars, which themselves formed in the dense nodes of a cosmic web, which itself grew from quantum seeds sown in the first instant of time, guided by the invisible hand of dark matter, and may, in fact, be a holographic projection of information from the edge of space-time. You are not just in the universe. You are the universe, a conscious, thinking part of this grand, billion-year-old structure. Every one of us is a temporary embodiment of the cosmic web itself, a way for the cosmos to know itself. We are the universe becoming aware of its own architecture. The cause of the large-scale structure is not a single, simple thing. It is a cascade of events, a chain of causality that links the weirdest, smallest quantum world to the grandest, largest cosmic scales. It is a story that begins with a whisper and ends with a web of light and shadow, a cathedral of galaxies whose spires are still growing, whose design we are only just beginning to read. And the most incredible part? The journey of discovery is not over. With every new telescope, every new simulation, we are peeling back another layer of this cosmic mystery. If this journey into the heart of cosmic creation resonated with you, if you felt that sense of wonder, then do me a favor. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. It truly helps us to continue exploring these deep mysteries together. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. What part of this cosmic story amazed you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if your curiosity has been truly ignited, if you want to dive even deeper into these ideas, into the holographic principle, the nature of reality, and the multiverse, then I invite you to check out my book, Holographic Multiverse. We've only scratched the surface today, The book is a guided tour through the most mind-bending implications of modern physics. The link to get your copy is in the description below. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Remember to look up at the night sky and see it not as a random scattering, but as the grand, evolving, and magical structure that it is. Until next time.